Hey, what's up? It's Valar. Hope everybody's doing awesome. I just wanted to point out a couple things on the dupe system. Before I do that, I want to let you know I view the dupe system as really cool. I'm pleasantly surprised at how robust it is. There's going to be some issues with it. One of the main things, though, that I think, and nobody else talked about this, is it's pretty subtle, and I don't know if it's because it's art or anything, or we're going to have to sacrifice a bunch of legendaries that are already fully ascended into these. But take a look at something on the token trader legendaries that they have, which I bet no one's mentioned yet. And if they have, I apologize, I didn't see it. But I listened to this about 45 times this week for different takes on everything, and I didn't see it yet. Take a look at how many stars are up here. It's a level 1 legendary, right? A level 1 legendary, you typically get a 5-star level 1 legendary. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So all of the things in the token trader are 6-star level 1 legendaries. So to me that means one of two things. And the one thing that I think it's most likely to mean is we're in for 7-star champion sometime next year. I actually believe 7 stars is coming. I thought that 7 stars was going to come a while back, actually, but now it makes sense with overpowering things and everything. Anyway, it's just my opinion. It's complete speculation. Who knows if it's actually coming? The other thing it could mean is that it's a 6-star, so maybe they give it to you at 6 stars automatically right out of the gate, so you don't have to actually feed. You don't have to get the level 5 because you're already trading in another legendary for it with the whatever life tokens that you get. And who knows how much these cost. So maybe there's a cost to it and they figure, okay, since there's a cost to it, we'll give them to you at 6 stars. Or, third thing is that none of this means anything and this is just artwork with 6 stars in there. But that doesn't make sense to me because why is it at level 1 when you get it at 6 stars? There are no characters in the game we get at 6 stars at level 1 without... The only way we 6-star things is by putting food into them. So I've thought at some point in this game there would actually be a 7-star coming. I'm going to say right now in 2022, maybe toward the end of 2022, Raid Shadow Legends will have 7 stars coming. You saw it here first. Anyway, so that's my thought on that. Other than that, I actually think the system's really cool. So I don't want to crap on the system or anything. I think it's actually a really good system. I do like it. I'm not going to go over the video and have you watch it again because everybody did that, right? So there's no point in doing that. I'd give you my thoughts on it and what I think is going to happen. I think it's going to dramatically change the game, actually. And maybe other people think that as well. I actually think it's going to dramatically change the game for positive reasons, though. Now, I'm actually excited to play again. I basically quit the game for 3 months. I mean, maybe I logged on once a week for the last 2 or 3 months. A lot of that had to do with just stuff in the personal life going on, but also, I just really wasn't that excited about things with Raid. I couldn't feel excited about it. I couldn't honestly make a good video. I couldn't even play the game, much less make a video. It wasn't even worth the effort to complain about it. That's actually how I felt about Raid, was maybe it's time to move on, quit, call it a day. And then I heard the dupe system's coming out. I was doing some of my dailies every now and then, when you're on the can in the morning type of thing. And then I just figured, you know what? I saw that come out, that they were going to have a video. And I'm like, yeah, right, okay, that video will be out sometime toward the end of the year. It came out way earlier than I expected. And I'm pleasantly refreshed and surprised by it. It's actually got me energized to play again. So I don't know if there's a lot of other people like me where they actually did kind of quit for a little bit of a time and maybe are interested in coming back now because of the dupe system. But I will say I actually do feel that way. I feel that I'm interested in playing Raid again. And I think there's going to be some major changes to Raid and how things work, right? So we're going to have the first one, the Faction Guardians. So you're going to want dupes. You're going to want at least 5 dupes per faction per rarity. That is a lot of incentive to actually pull and have dupes, which we'll need more space for, but that ups that actually ups our stats, which is awesome. So that's really cool. Then you have the version of I forgot what they called it, but empowerment or something, right? It's the empowerment where you can feed legendaries into each other. If you have 4 Sir Nicks or 5 Sir Nicks, you can have a 4 fully ascended Sir Nick that just mashes everything and is just the best Sir Nick out there, right? I don't mind that, actually. So Epic 7 does something like that, where you actually feed you kind of like make 5 or even 6, I guess, different 5 or 6 stars, and you feed them into, and it gives another level of ascension. I forgot what they call it in that game, but I haven't played Epic 7 forever. But you actually do that, and it empowers the champion. Everybody has access to it. There's an incentive to pull dupes. You actually want to pull dupes because of that. I will say, they're going to have to increase the drop rates, though. And I think if they increase the drop rates, they would actually make more money as well, because given even more incentive to get dupes, now you will want dupes and want to be able to power them up. I don't actually mind the empowerment system. I actually kind of like it, and maybe that's a different voice, but in my opinion, I like the empowerment system overall. So I like that there's 3 different options. This is actually a really robust duplicate system when you think about it, because a lot of other games just have like a one-way street, even if they have a duplicate system, where yes, you need dupes. Like I'm thinking of Magnum Quest. I don't know, I could be wrong, I haven't played the game that much, but you get a bunch of dupes, you want a bunch of dupes, but all you can really do with that dupe is make a better version of your current character, so essentially empowerment. I think it's believed it's the same thing with Epic 7 too, or you may be able to do like a reroll or something. So one of those 2 things, that's pretty much it. But here, you've got that opportunity where you can do the Faction Guardian side, you can feed them in if you want to make an overpowered one, or you can just go ahead and go for the Token Trader. I'm actually excited for the Token Trader too, because they did say they're going to put fusion things in there. I don't know if it'll be the epics, I don't think so, the legendaries, but I have a bunch of legendaries at 50 or 60 that I kind of was like, oh, maybe I'll do it, and I'm not going to do it, like Rorik even recently. I mean, I played and maybe have 30 shards of that guy or something. So I'm not too interested in Rorik, but if I can get him and he's cheap, why not, right? So it's actually worth it to trade in one of my 4 Astralists for that or something, if it's a 1-to-1, of course. That's the other issue. But I do believe there could be 7 stars coming, and the game's going to change dramatically, because now we're going to want dupes. I'm actually going to be excited to pull dupes. I just pulled a dupe biggin in my last video, and now I'm happy I have 2 biggins, just for the opportunity to say, okay, well, I can get my Faction Guardian set up there at very least. Probably not going to feed a biggin into another biggin, unless I wind up pulling 6 biggins or something. So there's a lot of things you have to think through, but a lot of things you have to strategize, and I think there might be a lot more content that comes out, which is the risky part. A lot more content that comes out that actually says, it's harder content where you have to have that fully ascended for dupes fed into them or something like that, something ridiculous. Doom Tower is pretty hard. I'm fairly endgame, although I wouldn't consider myself that, because I'm not a mega whale that has a ton of gear or anything, and I've been pretty inconsistent with how I've played the game. So I haven't finished Doom Tower hard. I'm going to be trying that this month. That's my goal on the account. But there could be some content that comes out that is just over the top hard. There's that 8-arm guy or whatever that's coming out that's a new dungeon boss or something. We may need Faction Guardians. Believe me, Raid is going to want you to max all this stuff out. But the thing that I think they're going to need to do is they're also going to need to actually increase the drop rates. And increasing the drop rates won't be that big of a deal for them. It'll give more incentive and sell more packs, actually. Like, I would actually be more interested in opening even more shards than I have. And I've opened a ton of shards. But I'd be interested in opening even more shards than I had if I knew that the dupes would actually have value to them, and I could, at the very least, try to get a position to where I'm going to max out my Faction Guardians, or, like, whatever. Even if it's a useless dupe, at least I'm getting a bonus stat on every single one of my legendaries, so they're not necessarily useless anymore. They're doing something, right? Or if it's a mega dupe that I want to actually supercharge, like maybe a supercharged Sir Nick. I do have 2 Sir Nicks, so if I wanted to supercharge a Sir Nick, maybe I'd be interested in that, and then trading as well. But the two risks there is the content change, as far as like there's gonna be harder content. We already know there's gonna be harder content, and Raid's not gonna put this in the game unless it's gonna give them an incentive to do it as well. And you know, I still fully believe 7 stars are coming. Why are we getting 6-star pictures with level 1 legendaries here when level 1 legendaries are plain old 5 stars right now? So I don't know if Raid's that generous where they're going to just plop us a 6-star and you don't have to do any of the feeding. Or maybe part of the token trader thing is you got to feed 5-star chickens into it too. That might be a little bit silly, but I don't know. Or this means nothing again too. So if you like the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I really think that you're going to get value out of subscribing. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on different takes on different things. I'm going to do things a little bit differently. And I'm also going to do it so you don't miss actually where you can see builds that are not on the test server. I think it's a little bit unfair to have builds on the test server and all of this extra advanced access. I get why if I was a content creator, I might be interested in that too at that level. But I don't think I would be. I think it's more realistic. On this channel, I'm going to do builds that everybody can do for the most part, that it doesn't take ridiculous gear to do, and it may not be the fastest teams in the world or the best gear in the world. It's going to be more realistic, what your average everyday player can do. So in reality, what you're going to see here on this channel is actually going to make more sense and make it so that you can actually see how you might be able to build your account. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Thank you so much. I'll be back with more Raid Shadow Legends content. Cheers.